Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on the channel, and I'm here to talk about some news. I'm gonna go over NASCAR, MLB, wrestling, and probably maybe NFL. But I'm gonna get these three things out of the way first, then I'll see if I want to do any NFL, if I can find any. So, the hashtag Rays, they are in discussions to acquire catcher Nick Fortes from the hashtag Marlins, per Ken Rosenthal, and the deal has been agreed to. Per John Heyman, Miami's receiving an outfielder, Matthew Etzell, from Tampa Bay in exchange for Fortes, by Robert Murray. Etzell was Tampa Bay's 28th ranked prospect. Per MLB Pipeline, he hit .230. So it's basically a not really good player for a mid prospect at best. Tampa Bay Rays dumpster diving. The hashtag Brewers are close to acquiring catcher Danny Jansen from the hashtag Rays, per Jeff Bassan, and then per TB_Rays confirms the Brewers are acquiring catcher Danny Jansen from the Rays. Hitting barely 204 this year, with 221 at-bats. So Tampa Bay, he fits in right with that average. Watch the Brewers somehow make him a good player. Tampa Bay will receive infielder Jodher Arinamo from Milwaukee in exchange for Jansen, per Feinstein. He was Milwaukee's 24th ranked prospect per MLB Pipeline. He's hitting .297 with 11 homers, 51 runs batted in, and 818 OPS. I mean, this could be a good move for him. They had a prospect. I mean, I get, man, what is he in? I don't know what he's in. Single A. So, a few trades right there with the Rays and Brewers. Keep scrolling down through here. On. Chris Bubich is going to miss the remainder of the 2025 season with a rotator cuff strain, which is a big blow to that great starting rotation the Royals have. So Chris Bubich out for the season. The hashtag Yankees are the, quote, front runners for hashtag Dodgers right-handed pitcher Dustin May of my Dodgers. I mean, I wouldn't mind it because he's really good, so I wouldn't mind if we traded him, to be honest. I really don't know what they could get in return for him, but if they do trade him, it's fine. I mean, he's had injuries, and he just hasn't been good this year. So, I wouldn't mind if they traded him. Scott Harris said Reese Olson, Tigers starting pitchers, out for the season with a shoulder strain. And that's a big roll into a trade they made today, which I'll get into. The Tigers are acquiring right-handed pitcher Chris Paddock from the Minnesota Twins. They traded for him. That Reese Olson injury probably played a big factor. Minnesota will receive a catcher/first baseman prospect Enrique Jimenez from Detroit in exchange for Paddock. He was their 14th ranked prospect per MLB Pipeline. Detroit is also receiving Randy Dobnak from Minnesota. So trade went down there. I mean, the guy has a 4.95 ERA this season, so he really hasn't been good, to be honest. But maybe he can turn it around in Detroit. Cubs baseball president Jed Hoyer and the team will agree on a multi-year extension for Mr. Jed Hoyer. The Yankees, they're pursuing right-handed hitting outfielders, and they've discussed outfielder Harrison Bader with the Twins and Austin Slater with the White Sox. I don't know why they're trying to go after outfield, dude. They need pitching. They really don't need any more outfield. The Mets have been discussing infielder Mark Vientos in trade talks, and rival executives believe they're willing to trade him. He hit 27 homers in 111 games with 838 OPS last season, but he has mildly struggled this year offensively. Injury. He just hasn't been good. So, I could definitely see him trading him. The Braves are acquiring Carlos Carrasco from the Yankees. Dude, their pitching is so shit now. Dude, all their starting pitchers are hurt, and they're acquiring Eric Fetty and Carlos Carrasco. They get Cookie. Guardians right-handed pitcher Emmanuel Clase has been placed on non-disciplinary paid leave through August 31st as part of MLB's gambling investigation. There's a bunch of 0-0 counts. He comes in. There must be like bets. If you bet the first pitch will be a ball, and so there's like 22 pitches or something I saw. Yeah, it doesn't look good for his case, man. Like, half these pitches he throws isn't even close. I'm just saying. It's not a good look, when two players of the same team are going to be on a leave. So, let's get into some more stuff here. So, Bryce Harper. He stood up. He stood nose to nose with Robert Manfred, the MLB commissioner, during a meeting last week. During cap talk of a salary cap, he said, "Get the fuck out of our clubhouse." If he wanted to talk about a salary cap, nose to nose, my lord. I don't think they need it. Every other sport has a salary cap. I get it. But a salary cap does nothing without a floor. Because some owners still won't spend. It needs a floor. A cap will be okay if it's done correctly. But is there really a need for a salary cap, though? Because every single baseball team is taking in $200 million a season. 0 baseball teams are losing money. A salary cap will make it harder for some players to find teams that would take them on if not for the salary cap. They need salary floor, in my opinion, because these owners are billionaires. If they want to spend pennies on payroll, they should sell the team to another rich person that will actually spend. Yeah, if you want a salary cap, fine. But teams like the Marlins, the Rays, the Athletics, the Guardians will always be cheap and not spend. Cheap teams need to spend more, to me. But yeah, that was crazy, man. Bryce Harper just cussing out Robert Manfred. Oh boy, it's gonna be interesting in 2027 or something. I'm afraid there's gonna be a lockout. But we'll see, man. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. But yeah, let's get some wrestling here. So, that's all I'll say for baseball. Cody Rhodes will be on the Hot Ones this Thursday. Eating the hot wings. So he'll be on July 31st. So, apparently Drew McIntyre, it's in jeopardy if he'll be at SummerSlam this weekend. Apparently he's stuck in England and he doesn't have his passport, I believe. Well, now, via Miz's Instagram, The Miz wants to replace Drew McIntyre in the tag team match at SummerSlam if McIntyre can't make it back to the US in time. Look, it's not the worst idea. Hey, but, dude, I don't care. Like, I would rather just have the original match. Maybe it could be good, but I don't know about that one, champ. I guess it would maybe be a fitting replacement. But, man, it's gonna suck if Drew McIntyre doesn't make it. So tomorrow will be the WWE Unreal show premiering, behind the scenes serious premiere. Curious what it'll look like. Brie Bella shares that Bryan Danielson working for AEW is a roadblock and her returning to WWE. Yep, seems about right. Makes no sense. Just because Bryan Danielson works in another company, oh well, Brie, it's a roadblock to her return to WWE. I don't get it. Like, Rhea Ripley's husband works for AEW. She attends shows. I don't get it. RVD, he explained why he finds celebrity involvement in wrestling offensive. There have been some exceptions, but I would agree. Like, celebrity cultures took over more now. And for a guy that started at ECW, his take is completely valid. There will be 6 hours of pre-show content across both days of SummerSlam weekend. Dude, at this point, just have pre-show matches, dude. Like, what are you talking about for 3 hours? So, advertised for Raw tonight, the final Raw before SummerSlam. Roman Reigns will appear. Rhea, Stephanie, Nikki, and Io versus Naomi, Chelsea, Piper, and Alba Fire. Gunther, the world champion, will appear. CM Punk will also appear. Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed, and Judgment Day versus LWO for the tag titles. So it looks like a packed show for the final final Raw before SummerSlam. So WWE, their major goal with the Behind the Scenes series, WWE Unreal, is to expand their audience with the new fans, according to the director Chris Weaver. They've seen how these behind the scenes follow docs on Netflix and propelled leagues and athletes and open up to new audiences. I mean, we'll see how this does, man. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, let's talk about NASCAR in the video here. So the Xfinity entry list to go over for Iowa. The only two notables is Chastain in the 9 this weekend and Justin Bonsignor in the 19 car. We're waiting to see what they're going to decide with Austin Hill. Will he be in the 21 car? They better suspend his ass. 37 Cup cars for Iowa. The only notable, Joey Gase, will be in the 66. Any penalties from the weekend would likely come tomorrow. They never do it on Mondays. If there's any, which should be a penalty, will probably be tomorrow. Bristol says it sold more than 85,000 tickets for Reds Braves on Saturday. That's a lot of people. NASCAR schedule for this weekend at Iowa. Friday, 3:30 ARCA practice and qualifying. Then at 7 p.m. on FS1, the ARCA race, 150 laps. Saturday, 11 a.m. on the CW app, Xfinity practice and qualifying. 1:30 on True TV Cup practice and qualifying. 4 on the CW pre-race and 4:30 on the CW Xfinity race. 60, 130 stage lanes, and I'll go over this a lot this weekend. Throughout this week, Sunday, 3 p.m. on USA, the pre-race. NBC, technically. And then 3:30, the Cup race. I don't know what the stage length is for the first one. Bob had a typo and only put 7. But yeah, that's the entry list and the weekend schedule. But yeah, it's really gotta say, might do NFL news later after I get all the other recaps done with the baseball games and Monday Night Raw. We'll see, but peace.